Follow us on Facebook at Off Script with Super E Podcast. Also follow us on Twitter at offscriptpod_1. Off Script with Super E recommends listener discretion, as these real but sometimes uncensored stories can be filled with mature content. Hello everybody, Jay here, back with another Off Script with Super E, and also back at A-Train Studios with everybody. Super E here to my left. Super E, say something.
What's happening, everybody? Have a Merry Christmas.
All right. A-Train across the table there. What you got?
I am just so happy that we're all together, and the synergy in this room is, I thought I would get a laugh when I said synergy.
I was thinking.
Okay, I'm glad to see you guys. Whatever. Go ahead, Mike.
I was glad to see you until you said synergy twice. What the hell is synergy?
I have no idea.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, I just brought the show to a
And the show is dead.
The Titanic Award goes from double S to A-Train.
Swear to God, I thought I was going to get a laugh
Iceberg
on
ahead.
Here we go. Synergy iceberg.
I'm just going to sit here the rest of the episode.
Well, you know what? Speaking of train wrecks, boats sinking, all those things, Super E, I was thinking, have you ever had a situation where you come across somebody that you look at them and you're like, there's no way this person's a prostitute, because physically or even when they started talking, they were just off-putting. Have you ever come across anybody like that you had to like overcome that just to get the proper to do your shit?
It was like an obstacle or hurdle that I had to overcome.
Some obstacle, hurdle, iceberg.
There were several of them. Sometimes I was able to overcome it and complete an arrest, and other times I failed miserably because of the obstacle.
Oh boy.
And I will start out with this one.
All right.
So I'm driving down the street on the hot dog stand. It was getting kind of dusk.
By other coppers or other dudes?
Just regular dudes.
Okay.
And so she was making money. So I go, oh, there she is. I hadn't seen her in a while. And it's getting kind of dark. And I pull over, and she gets into my car. And when she opens the car door up, the dome light comes on. But I'm moving some things around so she can get in. And I'm looking down. And she jumps in the car, and she goes, hey, how you doing? I go, I'm doing good. Before she shuts the door, I look up at her. And she was kind of looking straight ahead about something. And she goes, well, what are you looking for? And then I looked at her, and I immediately could not quit talking. I couldn't finish my sentence or talk to her because I was amazed about what I saw.
What'd you see?
This chick had the biggest fucking goiter zit on her cheek.
Okay.
I looked like somebody cut a golf ball in half, painted it dark red, and put a little big white dot in the middle of it, and it was on her cheek. And she's walking around like no big deal. She's like, hey, what are you looking for? And I'm just...
Maybe she just had some greasy food, deep fried.
So you were talking about a giant boil.
It was a boil.
Young lady's face.
It was a boil on her left cheek. It was so obvious. And I'm just staring at it. I'm not responding to her. My eyes are glued to it. And then I could tell she starts getting a little irritated. She goes, so what are you looking for? You want to get some head? And then she goes, would you quit staring at my zit? Can you stop staring at it? I said, no, I cannot. She goes, quit looking at it. I go, I can't. I go, you're walking around. Do you know how big that zit is? Yes, I know how big it is. I go, it's the biggest boiled zit I've ever seen. And you got this unbelievably big white pulsating head in the middle of it. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, why haven't you lanced that? Doesn't it? But she goes, it'll go away on its own. I'm like, when? It's huge. And she goes, could you stop talking about it? I know I cannot. Or what? I go, I really think I need to lance that boil.
All of a sudden he's Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yes. I said, I really need to lance that. Let me lance that boil. Are you going to pop it? No, I'm not. I'm not gross. Then I will lance it for you. Do you want your dick sucked or not? We'll get back to the dick sucking after we just get clarification on this pimple. Do you feel, I was like this, don't you feel weird walking around with everybody looking at it? Well, you're the only one who's rude enough to even comment on it, and you've been talking about it for the last 5 minutes. And I'm like, well, it's getting ready to blow right now. I swear to God. And I said, let me take care of it. She goes, no. And then she goes, and you'll pay me some money, and then I'm going to get out of this car. So what are we going to talk about? I'm going to talk about the zit. She goes, pull this fucking car over right now. She opened the door, and she goes, you're a fucking weirdo. I said, you're not a team player. And, and she just stormed off. So that one, I didn't overcome that one.
Well, okay, so that's kind of like Austin Powers.
Yes.
He just kept
moly,
saying,
moly. I didn't have a stick that all of a sudden came into the frame and started touching it.
God.
But that's when my hand kept reaching towards it.
Yeah. You were trying to help her because it sounds to me, I'm not a doctor, but it sounds like it needed to be lanced.
You know what? If I would have had one of them protractors from your art box in 4th grade, I would have just blam put that baby. Well, anyways, and that girl was arrogant. You know, she had a giant zit and was arrogant.
Who could be arrogant walking around like that?
Well, I always talk to Double S. I go, you know what? You're a fat guy with a superiority complex. How does that happen? You're arrogant and fat.
Well,
it confuses people and angers them.
Yeah, not all of us see our faults.
Right.
Exactly. But anyways, getting back, and another girl I picked up. This is the girl. She jumps in the car, and I'm looking at her making conversation, and then she turns her head because I'm onto her left side. She turns, and I could see her left eye was one of those lazy eyes that it was like a chameleon. It operated independently of the right eye.
Okay.
Kind of like was it Miss Chokes on Dick on South Park that had the wandering eye? I mean, it's like, and I'm trying like, okay, you fucked up with Zit Girl.
Right.
So,
I mean, you have a job to do.
Yeah, I've got a job to do. All right, can't get distracted. So anyways, so I'm sitting there going, okay. So she again, okay, what are you looking for? I'm just looking for a hand job or some head. She goes, are you the police? I go, negative. I said, no, I'm not the police. She goes, sure you're not the police? You always had to say, I would always say, what do you want me to do, 10 push-ups? She goes, no, take it out. They would ask us to show them our penis.
Right.
And so I'm like,
you don't have to talk quiet when you say penis.
You can say
notice.
I'm just trying to make sure Mrs. A-Train ain't
penis.
around. So she has me pull out my penis, and I was praying that it had a little weight to it. And so I pull it out, and then I can see that she's looking at me, and that one lazy eye was just moving all over. And I was like trying to shift my penis to make sure she saw it. No, I wasn't. Wait.
To get it in her field of vision.
Yeah, the eye's over here. Wait's over. It's like a joystick over here. Over here. Okay, wait, no, it's going over to the right and left. I said, okay, have you seen it with your right eye? She goes, yes, I see it. She goes, okay, you're not the police. I'm okay. And then she immediately made an agreement.
Was she impressed by it? What did she say?
I think maybe the lazy eye also shrank what she saw, and so she was not impressed.
See, if she'd had a monocle on that lazy eye, would have made it look bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have been like the Three Stooges. Remember they show their engagement ring to the girl and they put the magnifying glass on? That's what I would do.
That is not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not. But anyways, I was able to overcome that, and I was able to make an arrest on that.
Good job.
Oh, yeah.
That's
good.
So where were we before this just went underwater?
You just locked
Lazy
up.
eye.
Okay.
Yes, you just locked up the lazy eye.
Now I'm going to tell you about another one. Now, she was extremely sweet.
Okay.
So I'm working, and now I was working into
I don't think he's going to say Hooters.
No.
I just got a feeling.
No. So I'm up on a different area because in certain parts of our town, there was little pockets where the girls would prostitute, and it was like in residential areas, and this was on the northwest side of town.
Okay.
And they had me go up there, and you'd get lucky every once in a while. Well, I see this girl walking down the street, and she was a big girl. She was big.
Okay.
And you would just pull up and pull over about 20 yards ahead of whichever way they were walking. Well, she walks up and gets in my car and sits down, and she looks at me and she smiles at me. And I said, you have a smile like sunshine. She was just glowing with positivity and sweetness. I go, oh.
She had all her teeth?
Every single one of them.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
very sweet and kind. And I said, well, your smile is like sunshine. She goes, well, thank you very much. She goes, what's your name? My name is Ray. And I said, what's your name? She goes, my name is Pumpkinhead. I said, excuse me?
What?
I was like, excuse me, your name is what? And she goes, Pumpkinhead's name is Pumpkinhead. She started talking like Michael Irvin.
In the third person.
In the third person at a press conference.
We all know the jokes we're thinking. Yeah.
And so I was like, so your head is big, and so people call you Pumpkinhead. And that's what you go by. She goes, yes, Pumpkinhead goes by Pumpkinhead because my head's like a pumpkin. And then she went on to say, well, Pumpkinhead will give you head. Do you have money?
There's the hook.
And I said, yes, I do. And she goes, okay, well, how much do you have? I go, I've got like $20, but I'll make it 30 since you're so sweet and kind. She goes, Pumpkinhead appreciates that. And she goes, Pumpkinhead wants to see the money first. Is that okay, Ray? And I'm like, sure is, Pumpkinhead. And I would pull out what she thought was my wallet. And I opened it up and I go, Pumpkinhead, this is a badge. Pumpkinhead doesn't like what she sees. Pumpkinhead sees a badge. I said, I'm sorry, Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead forgives you. And I'm like, Pumpkinhead, you are so sweet and kind. I'm just going to write you a summons. I'm not taking you to jail. Pumpkinhead appreciates that, Ray. And so I wrote her a ticket. And I said, Pumpkinhead, you have a nice day. Pumpkinhead wants you to have a nice day. Take care, Ray. And you know what I did? I just wrote a report up, and then I never turned the ticket in.
Listeners want to know, because I do. Did she have a pumpkin head?
Her head was humongous.
Okay.
When I said, oh my God.
Mr. Mackey.
She has a gigantic, it looked like it said inflate to 100 pounds on the side. It looked like a medicine ball on her shoulders.
Okay, so her name did fit her description.
Yes.
And we all have things that maybe we don't like about ourselves, but
I don't know what you're speaking of.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
Right.
I think Jay's disappointed about one thing that he had. Extremely disappointed.
Oh God! So
it's a bad jump shot. I'm not talking about anything.
That is a bad jump shot.
Yeah, he's got a bad jump shot.
So okay, so Pumpkinhead was so sweet and nice to you that you just that you didn't follow through on that summons.
No, I did not.
Okay.
No.
But if she would have been an ass like the Gorder chick, you'd have locked the shit up.
Oh
right?
yeah, she had been trying to. They've been shoving that pumpkin head in the back of the van. Put some Vaseline on it and shove it in there.
Really doing that cop thing where watch the head from hitting the top of the door.
It's a good thing they don't put you in the old thing where they would stick your head through in your arms like in the night movies. Because hers wouldn't have fit.
Yes, that is
talking
correct.
About, what is that? Not shackles. Damn.
Stocks.
No, was it stocks?
Yeah.
When they
Stocks.
Okay. I don't remember calling them stocks.
Hey,
I don't either.
Showstoppers J2 A Train 1.
Okay, yes, you're leading.
So that wasn't funny.
No.
I guess
No,
I thought
it wasn't.
You handed A Train an anvil and he just went down.
Yeah. Sorry, Jay.
Well, Ernie, any other tales of
Super E? That's another demerit.
It's 3-1.
I'm having a show. Damn.
I was going to say we're talking about people's physical attributes that threw you off your game just a little bit.
Yes.
You got any more?
Well,
Or-
this was kind of like mine threw me off my own game.
Oh.
Okay, so this
boy.
is you're turning the spotlight on yourself.
Yes, which I enjoy to do.
And I respect that.
Yes. I had issues with kidney stones. And a long time ago, I had kidney stones so bad, I had to go I went to the hospital. They said, it's not coming out. We got to send you back to the big hospital so they can put you in there and blow them up. I guess you put you in the water. And so I'm like, okay.
They do it in the water?
Yeah, they use sound waves or something. I don't know what they did because I was out. They could have used a jackhammer.
Whales?
Yeah, they got whales.
That's how a whale sounds.
How's he sound, Jay? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That is how they sound. I was more like a dolphin.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Okay, so I go and get my kidney stones blown up, and the bad thing about it was whatever they gave me, it was like I was dead. I was completely gone to the world. So anyway, I'm released from the hospital. And they told me, they go, oh, by the way, you have a stent inside you to keep your, urethra or something like that, urine tract, whatever.
Open.
Open. Mm-hmm. So I imagine a stent was something like a half-inch long, a little, something like that. So
of course you did.
Yeah. Thank you. I walked into that.
Yeah, you did.
But it's up inside you. It's not part of your penis.
Okay.
Which they had to push it way up to travel all the way through. Anyways.
Okay.
So she goes, there's also she goes, there's something hanging out. And I looked down when the nurse was telling me this, and I could see a thread hanging from my penis. It was a black thread.
Okay.
And I was like, what in the hell is that? And she goes, that's a thread that's connected to the stent. And here in a week or so, they're going to have to remove that stent. But do not touch it. And don't do anything to it.
Ouch.
And I'm like, all right. And she goes, oh, by the way, they blew up all the kidney stones. You had quite a bit in there. So there might be a little bit, you're going to know some stones coming out. So my dad picks me up and he drives me. And I said, Dad, I got to piss. So I immediately get out and go into like the ghetto Hardee's. You know, you go in there, it looks like it's part of Mad Max in there.
You're sliding around on the grease floor.
It smells like urine. So I go in and urinate. And you could hear the gravel sound like people smashing the sidewalk with the sledgehammer. I could have graveled the driveway. So much gravel came out. I'm like, oh, but once I got through with that, I was okay. All I had to worry about was this fucking string hanging from my penis.
Okay.
And they're like, they said, like, do not touch it, don't grab it, don't do anything with it. I'm like, all right. So every time I peed, I would make sure my hands weren't around, and it looked like a little snake tongue when I peed because it would be flipping out. And it wasn't this girl in the car. And I'm working. I completely talking about wanting to give me head and all this. But she goes, I need to know if you're not a cop or not. And I said, I'm not the police. We run out of time?
No, we're fine. Keep going.
And she goes, I need to know if you're the police. I'm not the police. I need you to prove it. And again, I always say, you want me to do 10 push-ups? And she goes, no, take it out. Just like Elaine, take it out.
He took it out.
Out. So I said, no, it was kind of dark. So I just take it out, and I'm not looking down at it. I forget about the string, and she's staring at it.
I would never forget about the string.
No.
And she looks, and all of a sudden I notice that she's like looking at it, and then she's like zeroing in on something. She's like zeroing in, and she goes, and I see her hand reach over. I go, is she going to grab? And then she goes, is that a string? And she grabs it and pulls on it. And I go, let go of that. She goes, why is there a string on your penis? I got a stent in there. I had kidney stones. She goes, oh my God. She's looking at it, and she's like, would you like a hand job instead? Because I don't, I think she knew that string was soaked in urine.
Right.
And she goes,
right, I'm sure she thought of that.
And I said, she goes, how about a hand job? And I'm like, a hand job it is. And then again, I finally had to say, actually, not only am I a kidney stone victim, I'm also Detective Super E.
Victim.
And I'm placing you under arrest for prostitution. But I'm going to write you a summons. So, you don't immediately go out and tell everybody.
Yeah, please.
Oh, okay. I have questions.
Go ahead.
Jay?
My first question is, what fucking sick plan were you on that you were back to work with a string hanging out of the end of your
The same plan
wiener?
we were all on. Remember.
Were you on the 90, that one?
Oh, I was on the you got 90 sick days.
Yeah. What in the hell were you doing?
I
That's why you get 90 days there, Super E.
Well, you know what? I worked through the chemo. I worked through all that, so that was no big deal.
Dedication, Jay.
I guess this is why he has the show.
Yeah, exactly. But the penis string, it took a worse turn than the prostitute grabbing it.
Oh, God.
Because then when I had to go into the actual doctor, finger quotes, when I went into the doctor, they said they was going to have to pull that stent out. And again, I thought the stent was very small, not other parts of me were small. The stent itself was small. And I specifically asked a nurse the day I was going in there, I said, do I need to be,
sedated?
Yes. And she goes, no, this won't hurt at all. And I said, you sure? She goes, yes, it's no big deal. I'm like, all right. So the doctor comes in, and he reminded me of the guy who jumped out of the trunk on The Hangover, but he didn't have a crowbar. He was a very friendly dude.
Mr. Chow.
Mr. Chow.
Okay.
And he comes in, very nice guy. He's talking about the Colts and all this. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to make sure. I said, Doc, this isn't going to hurt. He goes, no, it's just going to take a second. So I'm laying there with no pants on, again, like Porky Pig. Yes. And I got this nurse looking at me, and my penis is just laying there. And there's nothing impressive about it. So you're kind of like, yeah, that's it. And the doctor comes along, and then I kind of close my eyes and grit my teeth. And then I feel this massive amount of pain. And I go, whoa! And then the pain stopped for a second because I think I startled him.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, thank God that's over. And he goes, I was just getting hold of the string. And I go,
was it like the clown with the scarves coming out?
Yeah. Oh. And I go, you haven't done it? Right when I said that, he yanked it out. And I was like, yeah! And it was a big, long, metal, curly-cued bar soaked in urine. And he ran out of there. He lifted up this great big garbage can lid and threw it in there. And I mean, I was going after this guy, His Hippocratic oath was in danger. And
Hippocratic. That's another T-shirt.
Well done.
Hippocratic oath. Thanks.
I know that was on purpose.
Yeah. So anyways, I immediately, my attention went from trying to get him to, I'm getting that thing out of the trash can. I don't care how many needles or stuff. I opened up that metal, curly-cued all the way. I'm like
a spring?
Yes, it looked like a bed spring.
Oh my God.
And that's what I was doing. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, how would, I'm just talking to no one in the room by myself because they both bolted.
Right.
I was like, how did this go in me? This is impossible. And then I noticed there was pee on my hand, so I had to clean it off.
I hope it was your pee.
Yes, I hope so too. And so I took that son of a bitch home with me, and that was my memento. But I don't.
Andy later found out after DNA analysis it wasn't his. He took the wrong one.
It wasn't mine.
Very good.
But anyways, that was the ending to that.
I'd say.
Oh, man.
So,
I'd say I'm sorry I asked, but
I am.
I asked.
Well, how much time we got, A-Train?
Oh, we're way over, so we can end it anytime.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think we better end it.
I say we end this.
We'll save the girls who stunk real bad for later.
God, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, but we got to get to it.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, we got to get to it.
That'll be the next Christmas episode.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, everybody. We're just leaving, and I'm going to go lay down because I think I might pass out.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.